Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Kaplan's Corner. This is a chance where I get to sit with one of our student athletes and chit-chat a little bit on their experiences at NJIT and what they're looking forward to in the future. Today, I'm joined by Liz Benson, our SAAC President and senior player from our women's volleyball team. Hey, Liz, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let me just start out by asking the question of, young lady from Minnesota playing volleyball. How do you wind up in Newark, New Jersey?
Didn't expect it. I was, near the end of my recruiting season in high school, and I wasn't going to play in college, but I got a letter from the head women's volleyball coach at the time offering me a position on the team. I thought it was crazy, and I've never heard of this place. My parents never heard of NJIT before. They didn't even know what it stood for. But I decided to, take a trip out here, see what it was all about. And just the place, the East Coast, the players, the coaches, the administrators, all just kind of made sense to me. And literally a week later, I knew that I wanted to spend my next 4 years here.
Oh, that's great to know. So now that you've done with your 4 years and you get ready to graduate, what are some things you're going to miss about us?
There's a lot. Definitely the people the most. We've, my class of 2020, we've been through a lot together. We've started in the Flesher Athletic Center, taking ice baths in garbage cans, and we made it to the Wellness and Event Center where, we're playing on a prestigious court in a prestigious field. And I just think we have a great bond with each other as classmates and as teammates and as fellow peers. And I'm just going to really miss the people seeing every day in classes, in the WEC, in the training room, in the strength and conditioning room. I'm just really going to miss seeing their faces every day.
So this is a two-part question. What is your most memorable moment from volleyball? And what is your most memorable moment as a student athlete?
My most memorable moment from my volleyball career would probably be my sophomore year, playing against North Florida in the Flesher Athletic Center. The gym was packed, which at the time it wasn't really hard to pack the Flesher because it was pretty small, but it was packed. And we won in 4. And I just remember seeing teams in the crowds from all different teams and, people from all over school coming and supporting us and being loud and crazy. And it honestly helped us win and got us so pumped. And it was just the best game. And it was so fun. And then just favorite memory in general from college, I would probably just say any time that, us athletes got together, whether it was for the back to school barbecue or the athletic banquet. Those were such fun events that got us all together and dressed up and, got to honor those who received special awards. Those were just so fun, and having everyone be in the same place.
So you've talked about your teammates and your bond, and you've talked about the rest of the student athletes. So women's volleyball is a fall sport here, and you got to finish your season, as did many of our student athletes. So as you've spoken to many of your other brethren from the many different sports, and you're the president of SAAC, so you probably get that a little bit differently with some of the student leaders. What has been their take on where we are right now and, with this pandemic and what they're going through?
I would say it's changed immensely. I remember that Thursday before spring break when, we were kind of hearing news about how this was going to impact us as college students, but also the spring and winter seasons. It seemed like unbelievable, and we were all just shocked and we didn't know what was happening. So, confusion, disbelief, all those emotions were going through us. And then when we were kind of being sent home, or, it still didn't feel real, but we were kind of accepting it and understanding the gravity of the situation of COVID-19 and how it was affecting not only us as athletes, but the world. I felt like we got more of an acceptance of that. Clearly, it is bigger than us and bigger than our sports, and we understand that. But now it's just, dealing with being at home, not seeing each other, having to work out in our garages or outside or in our living rooms, having to go to school online, taking tests online. Even some kids who didn't get to go home, as you said, 30 kids still on campus. So we're still, dealing with all these issues surrounding the impact of the pandemic. But I think that especially this class, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot of transitions from facilities to patiently waiting for fields and gyms to be open. So we're definitely a resilient group and we're dealing with it, but we're going to come out better because of it.
Okay. Well, that's good. Thank you. Again, just kind of going back to that a little bit, you're the president of SAAC. You have, your volleyball group. You're friendly with a bunch of other different groups. How many chats are you in, Zooms and web? Like, how many of those different things do you do with the student athletes from around the other teams?
It's constant communication. I mean, we're living in a time where we're lucky to have this technology where we can, face-to-face talk, or Snapchat or, text. So we're all staying really well connected. And I think even though I'm, no longer on the women's volleyball team, I know coaches are reaching out to their players still. And so people are still, connected, even maybe now more than ever, through these devices that we're lucky to have.
So you talked about working out a little bit in your garage. My understanding is it's like 3.5 inches of snow out in Minnesota right now. Is that part of the workout? Is like the Rocky Four running through the snow? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we had a little Easter blizzard out in Minnesota here, but I'm more of a living room workout person. So, 'cause I don't like the cold, even though I am from Minnesota and I'm supposed to like it. I don't like it. So I'm more, working out in my living room.
Okay. So you're president of the SAAC, and we got a lot done with the SAAC this year. I thought we made great strides thanks to your leadership. What is next for the SAAC, and what would you like to see happen as the next step for them?
Just keep improving. I think we had a really good year. We just, elected new officers. My teammate, Michaela Dungan, will be the new president. She'll do a great job. And then Vice President Logan Heff from men's volleyball. And then the rest of the e-board, just really great officers that will, continue improving the voice of the student athletes, because that's what we focus on, and improving the events that we hold and the community service initiatives that we have. I think we'll just keep growing and, making it better as a committee.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So, now here's your chance. Do you have any questions for me?
I do have a couple questions. Just thinking about our class of 2020, we started 4 years ago, and, you saw us kind of grow through our collegiate careers. What are some of your takeaways from, our class that are seniors right now?
Well, this happens really with every class. Okay. So, you come in as freshmen and you're wide-eyed, and we get student athletes from, 30 countries and 25 states. So you all come in as a unit. Sometimes you're a little separate and, you're not really sure. And in your case, you come from Minnesota. Newark's a little different than what you're surrounded by in Minnesota. You were lucky enough to have another teammate from Minnesota, which is, kind of odd, the same team, the same year that, didn't play together. And I just love watching you all grow. I mean, we've had a great 4-year run with, as you said, we went into the ASUN. It was right at the beginning of that when you guys arrived. We moved into the WEC. That's been something that's been on, I'm here 20 years now. That was an 18-year project when we opened it. I've been here for 18 years. So, and it's really kind of great seeing everybody kind of band together. As you say, we've been through a lot. And I've been here through the 20 years. I've been through a lot, but it's growth, and you guys never let it get you down. So, some teams are always rebuilding, and some teams are building and they hit a peak and then they're on the downslide. But as a group, you're all resilient, and I think you all get along really, really well. And that's always, you mentioned two key events that I enjoy having, which is the welcome back barbecue and the end of year banquet. And, we always talk about budget cuts and what we're doing. And those are two events that I try and really keep going, because I do think that most student athletes I speak to seem to enjoy it, because it's a good way for you all to get together and bond with each other, that there's no game, there's no pressure, there's nothing else going on except to hang out and have a good time. So.
Yeah, I agree. And my next question. Mm-hmm. So us seniors, we're in a different time right now. Some of us had postgraduate plans, mm-hmm. Jobs, are now kind of in question. Coming back maybe to play another year for those spring athletes are in question. Just wondering if you could give advice to, those who are wondering what their next steps will be, or confused or scared for the future. What advice do you give, those who may need it right now?
Well, overall, your future plans are going to come to what you envision them to be. So if you're planning on going to school for a master's, you can still do that. Job market our students and student athletes, luckily, are mostly in fields that they're very, very employable. So engineers are going to have jobs because building happens. People have to move forward, whether it's roadways or buildings or anything else. Computer programmers, mathematicians, our bio kids are getting multiple job offers still. So, the advice is to just keep plugging away and knowing that we're going to be back. We don't know what the new normal is going to be yet, but athletics teaches you patience and perseverance, right? It teaches you to keep pushing forward, and that's what you have to do. Now is when you reach back into your athletic tool bag of tricks to kind of keep yourself focused and moving forward to achieve what you intended to do. We'll be back to normal. We just don't know when that's going to start again, and what the new normal is going to be is nobody knows what that's going to be, but we'll be back.
Yeah. I think so too. My final question. So, we're a couple months away or 1 month away from being NJIT alumni, and, you work with alumni all the time. How can we as a class of 2020 be, considered good alumni, or how can we best stay connected to NJIT, this university that gave us, so many opportunities?
Well, I would hope it wouldn't be something hard to do, because I'm hoping that you all enjoyed your time here. Plenty of ways to stay involved. It's get involved through alumni groups and reaching out to our own alumni to bring them back. So we're going to have, knock on wood, and hopefully in the fall, we'll have homecoming weekend. And that may be a good chance for everybody to come back and have the Hall of Fame that we're going to bring back for the first time. And there's a women's volleyball player going in. But it's about getting everybody back, getting everybody involved. There's always about giving your time to join committees and stay in touch with us to let us know. Sean Morrison, who's our director of development, always asks a question. Okay. And Sean always says he wants the good, the bad, and the ugly of your experiences here. And hopefully it's mostly good. We know nobody bats 1,000, right? So, there's probably going to be some bad. We hope there's no ugly. But staying in touch with us, staying in touch on social media, including Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, following us, retweeting us, but just staying connected to us. At some point in your life, in your career, you will have the ability to donate some money, and that's important, especially in this time of crisis. Our budgets are going to get whacked pretty good, and we're trying to do everything we can so it doesn't affect the student athletes. So at some point in the future, giving back to the university is important. So a little bit of time, and as Pizza Stara likes to say, who's one of our trustees, a little bit of treasure. Okay? But at the end of the day, we're all proud of you. I always have this saying, once a Highlander, always a Highlander, whether you're here for, a semester, a year, or you graduate, and that's key. And so staying in touch with us is always the biggest thing. When time permits, if you can, a little bit of money. I do know the seniors were talking about making a little senior gift, and it'll be honored with a plaque, and we're hoping that still comes to fruition. We're looking forward to announcing that at the Hall of Fame event. But those are really it. If you stay in touch, it'll be a natural progression of getting involved and staying involved. That's the key, staying in touch.
Yeah, I think that'll be very doable for, myself and my peers as we felt like this has been just such a great experience all 4 years. So I just want to thank you and your service as our athletic director and providing such a good experience, college experience for us and college athletics experience. So we really appreciate that from the class of 2020.
It's been absolutely my pleasure. I've enjoyed having you all here. I just want to say, thank you for your service as, a leader on the volleyball team and a leader in the SAAC, because, we can't do what we do. We're here to help you guys. That, our service is to make sure you have a great experience. And that's why it's important. That's why the SAAC is important. And I appreciate all your efforts to take it to another level this year, which I really think we achieved. And I thank you for that. And I thank you for being just a great representative of NJIT athletics, whether it be through the ASUN or the NCAA, which I know you've had a chance to do a couple of those great events. And I thank you very much. Stay in touch. Once a Highlander, always a Highlander. Liz Benson, thank you very much. And I just want to say to Highlander Nation, stay safe, stay healthy, stay home, and roll tech.